Clutch Trucker filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. It's Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Yeah, boy, he desperately needs to be groomed. Look at this. It's almost over his eyes, poor dog. Maybe in the next week we could find you a PetSmart, Rusty. What do you think, huh? Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Alright, just kind of a potpourri of things today. Here I am parked. It is Wednesday the 14th. I'm parked at a Pilot where I shouldn't be in Tumwater, Washington. I should be closer to Salem, Oregon right now to pick up my next load tomorrow, which now I'm probably going to lose thanks to, let's see, who could it be? ArcBest? I've said it before, ArcBest, either the loads go perfectly with ArcBest or they go completely wrong. Everything on them goes wrong. So they're either ArcBest or ArcWorst. There doesn't seem to be any in between with these people. If you watched my previous video, I think it was actually even the one before the previous video. So the previous video, the previous video Eve, I don't know, where I talked about how I had made it to Sydney, Nebraska, and it was real windy and all that. I got kind of sick, blah blah blah. So I called ArcBest the next day, as soon as I got up, and said, "Look, we need to reschedule this load. I'm not going to make it for Tuesday at noon because I'm still like 1,300 miles away." And I said, so, let's work on getting that rescheduled. What do you think? And, oh, well, we're going to get back to you. Sure, no problem. Oh, that's great, blah, 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 blah. Didn't hear anything. That night later, after I saw the family, had some dinner with them. You saw the previous video. My wife helped me fix the smashed airline on my seat so it would stay up. And thanks for all the comments about my wife. I told my wife, you got to look at these comments. I got a lot of jealous truck drivers out there saying, yes, I should be home more with a wife like that. And yes, you're right, I should be. But, unfortunately, we got 3 kids to raise. You want to drain your bank account, have some kids. Hello! Anyway. And, one of them even said, yeah, not only is she lovely, she's hot. So, thank you for all those nice comments. That was kind of bordering. Anyway, she is lovely, and she was nice to help me out with that. Yeah, ArcBest. So, yeah, I called them Monday, and then my wife helped me that night, blah, blah, blah. Called them later that night. Still no update from them. Drove all night long. That's when on my last video I showed I drove 798 miles in a 11-hour period. Hauling ass. Yeah, well, because you can drive 80 miles an hour across a lot of Wyoming and a lot of Utah and 70 in Idaho. So, yeah, I was able to make it that far. But, so I finally get parked then on, what was that have been? Tuesday morning, right? Call ArcBest. So, hey, got any update yet? And, of course, I'm talking to the overnight people at that point because, I'm going west. But anyway, no answer. I put together my video. I talked to my wife. I talked to Frank, who you saw in one of my previous videos from Maine. Took care of some, did my paperwork, blah, 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 fed the dog, took him out, winded down, all that, ate something, got something to eat. Finally called ArcBest back going, I'd like to go to sleep. So do we have an appointment time yet for this? Oh, no, but we're working on that, and we'll get right back. We'll call you right away. I'm like, look, I'm going to bed, so please don't call me. I've been up all night driving. I drove 800 friggin' miles, Oh, well, we'll text you. Okay, great, thank you. I woke up a few times during the evening. Do they text me? No, not at all. So I'm like, okay, obviously it's not a concern for them, not a concern for me. I didn't get going too early in the morning. Finally, I got going because I'm like, okay, about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, well, I need to get rolling because, what if they finally call and say, oh, it's going to be in an hour or something. I'm driving. I stop at the TA Express in Biggs Junction, fuel up. Got some crispy, crunchy chicken, baby. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yes, and I did give some to Rusty. He loves the crispy, crunchy chicken. Finally, about 11:45, I guess that would have been Central Time. I do everything off Central Time because that's how I have to do my logs. They call me and, they said, well, yeah, we're still working on that. We'll give you a call back. Like, I've heard this little tune before, and it doesn't go very well. I don't like the ending. Over an hour later, they finally call me back. Okay, yeah, well, we apparently they got it rescheduled for 11 o'clock this morning, and at this point, it's way past that. I'm like, hey, we've missed that. How does that help us? Will they still take me today when I go there? Oh yeah, they should take you, no problem, blah, blah, blah. I am now about 27 miles away from the receiver, and my dispatch sends me a thing and says the appointment's now tomorrow at noon. That will be for Thursday, the 15th at noon. Well, of course, I have another load I'm supposed to pick up down in Salem, Oregon by 1 p.m., 180 miles south. So I spent the rest of the afternoon, I pulled off immediately to this pretty much the last truck stop south of the Seattle-Tacoma area where I could maybe park for the night. Get in here, there's only a handful of spots open, and luckily I got into one. But anyway, I keep calling ArcBest, I keep calling my dispatch and everything, we're going back and forth, and I can't get anywhere. I'm like, why did you make this for noon tomorrow? You know, first thing in the morning would have been fine. Because now I'm probably going to lose this next load. Another $6,000 load going back to Cincinnati that I pick up in Salem, Oregon. So I called him again and said, can you at least tell me when they open? And I'll just get there first thing and maybe hopefully they can, you know, slide me in. Maybe somebody else is late and I can take their slot. So can you tell me when they open? No, they couldn't even tell me that. They finally throw me over to this Lisa, who was actually a very nice lady, and she and I actually talked for a while. She was out of Wichita Falls. When Wichita falls, so falls Wichita Falls. If you've ever seen the movie Ice Harvest, you know what I'm talking about. And so we talked for a while. I had applied years ago to a radio station there, KNIN 92.9 Wichita Falls. I didn't get the job, but we talked about that. She was a real nice lady, and anyway, made it seem not quite as bad that she was so nice. But ArcBest completely just fell apart again. It's like I called these guys on Monday to get this rescheduled, and here it is Wednesday, and they still didn't get their act together. And so now I'm probably going to lose my next load. Thanks again to ArcWorst. And now to some happier stuff. While driving east on I-84, which follows the, what is that, the Columbia River, I think maybe, at the top of Oregon, was coming around this bend and got a great shot of Mount Hood covered in snow. And I'll have to zoom in so you can see that a little bit better, but really cool shot of Mount Hood, and it's a real pretty area anyway, so it makes for some good dash cam. Let's take a look. Got a real clear shot of Mount Hood here. That's really cool, looking at all the snow up on it. Yeah, then while driving north on I-5 in Washington State, came across a big boat getting hauled down the road. I thought that was kind of cool. You don't see that very often. And he was in the right lane, so I moved over into the center, but had to kind of straddle the center and left lane to get around him, make sure I was safe. And of course, no, a car, still impatient little four-wheeler, still has to come whipping up by me on the left, even though I'm halfway into that left lane. And to get around me, that jerk. But anyway, cool shot of the boat. Hanging into the center lane. And some cars still pass. Then once I got here to this Pilot, like I said, I hate parking at Pilots. Their slots are painted very small. There's never enough room between the rows. It's hard to back in. You know, I'm just always worried all night long someone's going to pull my hood off. Luckily, not too long after I got back, well, when I got here, let me back up a little bit, and was moving around back to get the other way to some open spots that were in the back row. I always like being in the back, near the grass for the dog. There's a guy who was trying to get his truck jump-started, and there was a pickup trying to do that, and I've tried that before. You can jump-start one of these big trucks with a pickup. It's going to take you about an hour, but you can do it. So I was like, look, you know, tell him to stop. Pull the cables off, have him back out, I'll slide on in, and I'll jump your truck for you, and we can get it done in just a few minutes. What do you think? Hey, here with Johnny. I was just trying to pull into this Pilot, find a place to park. He was trying to get a jump start from the pickup, and it wasn't working. So we hooked up to my truck, and got her going.
Good thing. You saved me.
So you just came off your home time, right? Came back to the truck, and it was dead.
Yes.
And what was the problem?
I forgot to unhook the refrigerator.
All right, so there you go, drivers. Good lesson to you when you're parking it. Check everything electrical, right?
Yes, definitely.
Well, we got him going. So he's going to head on the road. Where did you say you're going, to New Jersey?
New Jersey. Picking up in Yakima, Washington, going to New Jersey.
All right, well, good luck on your trip, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I saw Johnny, nice guy, got to meet there and talk to him. With the whole pandemic thing, it's so nice anymore when I get to talk to people, you know, outside without masks on and have a conversation. So got to say hi to him, and now he went off on his way. Like I said, he was picking up in, Yakima, going to New Jersey. So he's got a long trip ahead of him. Then I was taking Rusty out, and there's a flatbedder trying to back in next to me. And flatbedders, you know, I'm sorry you have the reputation for not being able to back up because, you know, you don't have to back up that often. That's why. And, you know, we who have to go to warehouses have to back up all the time. So I was watching him, and he seemed a little nervous. I saw him get out a couple of times. I'm just about to take Rusty out, and I just kind of waved at him like, look, I'll help you. All right, let me help you out. And so I helped him back in, and he actually did a pretty good job. And he and I talked for a few minutes afterwards. Real nice guy. He's from India. So he's Indian, not Indian, but, you know, can you have a Slurpee, please? Indian. Anyway, I'm not being racist. I'm just describing the the difference, all right? Real nice guy. We talked for a few minutes. He said he'd been driving for about a year, and I said, hey, for a year and doing a flatbed, you actually backed in very well. So, way to go, guy. And so I got to talk to a couple of people. And then I got back in the truck, and I'm trying to get things kind of all put together, working on my log, and then I see Western Express pull up, and I'm like, okay, let's save the dash cam on this, because this could be interesting. Yep, here it goes. I see Western Express trying to back into a spot. He's running it real sharp, doing a real jackknife kind of back in, which you almost have to do at one of these pilots, because they just have so little room in between the rows. And yeah, so far he seems to be doing okay, cutting it real sharp, but he hasn't hit anybody yet. It's kind of amazing. He kind of tries to correct a little bit and keeps going back. Yep, no crunch yet. I saved the dash cam about this point. It's Western Express backing into a spot. I'm just waiting for the crunch. He actually seems to be doing a decent job. So maybe this is one I can't send to Bonehead Truckers of the Week. He's actually doing all right. Yeah, watch the mirror on the other side, that DSW. Well, he's doing okay. Look at that. Western Express doing okay, actually backing into a spot without hitting anybody. I think this is a banner day in trucking history right here. Yep, but Western Express managed to back in without hitting anybody. Ha! It's amazing. It's astounding. But yes, sometimes it happens. So just kind of a potpourri of things, bitching about ArcBest again. What a shock! Like I say, when they're good, they're good. Otherwise, they completely screw up everything. And my dad had a great phrase about businesses. He said, businesses aren't still in business because they do everything right. It's because they don't do absolutely everything wrong. And I got to meet another truck driver there, Johnny. I got to talk to another guy from India. I can't remember I don't think I even asked his name. Who was backing in next to me. We got to watch Western Express not hit anybody. Wow. That's amazing. Great shot of Mount Hood while driving down the road. In a big boat. How often do you see that rolling down the highway? So just some fun. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please comment and like. I get to your comments. Sometimes takes a day or two because I'm a working truck driver. Ring the bell for notifications so you know when new videos come out or you know when we go live. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty. Out. Oh, I was on him good. I was on him like hair on a gorilla. All right, Fuzzy, it's bacon strip time. Yay, come on. There you go. Happy dog. See, I think he didn't even finish his dinner because he knew the bacon strips were coming, right?